Are you tired of not making it to the second round of the solo cash cup? Then this is the perfect video for you. In today's video, we'll be going over everything you need to know on how to play the solo cash cup. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video if you want to qualify for your next solo cash cup. Before we get into the strategies, let's first break down the point system. The point system this season had some big changes, and it's super important to understand them if you want to qualify. So here's how it works. Eliminations are 2 points per kill. It's fun to rack up eliminations, but don't get carried away. Focusing on kills alone won't win you the game or the points you need. The big shift here is that the placement points are now more valuable than ever. So if you think going full running and gunning will get you to the next round, think again. Your main goal should be to survive to make it to the later stages of the game. It's like the Fortnite version of hide and seek except with guns. And also, you need to be making sure that you're getting either close to 5th place every single game in order to qual with no problems. Getting 1st place gives you 60 points, but getting 5th place, you barely miss out on any points. 3rd is the best in my opinion, because then you don't feel too bad about losing, but you also don't win, but you still get the most points. All right, let's talk about the early game. One of the biggest mistakes players make is dropping into highly contested areas right off the bat. If you want to qualify, you need to land smart. Think of your drop spot as your first big decision. Pick a spot that's quieter than a library during finals week. Avoid those hot drops unless you're feeling like an absolute Fortnite god. And instead, look for smaller POIs, unnamed locations, or even split drops where you can loot without worrying about fighting over a gray pistol. And now, when it comes to loot, you need to be efficient. Here's a checklist of your early game loadout. So you want to have full shields, and don't skip the minis, they literally will save your life. A solid AR, because this season has the best ARs possible, and a shotgun. And once again, you want to have them above gray. Green or blue would be the best. If you can get above that, that is freaking insane. And you'll need at least 200 to 300 materials of each type. Make sure you always have 500 wood. This is one of the most important things that I teach people, is you guys need to always have 500 wood, because those are the mats that you guys can just waste, but you want to keep brick and metal for later in the game. And materials are like your life insurance policy in Fortnite. If you don't have them, you're gonna freaking get cooked. And once you've got your loot, rotate early. Don't stick around your drop spot longer than you would at a bad party. Get out and head towards the safe zone. Trust me, you're not here to show off, you're here to qualify and make it to the next round. Also, always take a second to scout out your rotations and locations, and use natural cover to stay hidden and avoid areas where a lot of other players are. So pay attention to visual and audio cues like I've said in past videos, and if you hear footsteps or see building, don't just run blindly into action. Early scouting can be the difference between staying safe and walking straight into an ambush. Also, make sure you guys are smart about what you guys do. If there's a third party, you can third party try and get that kill, but remember, you need to know when to disengage and when to engage, and also when to reset and find heals and mats again. Now, we're moving into the mid game. Here, your focus needs to shift from aggression to survival. So you'll want to play the edge of the zone like you're walking on a tightrope. It's safer and reduces your risk of getting third party, and you'll be able to use natural cover and avoid running in the open like a bot. This is also not the time to be a warrior like most of the pros, so you'll want to pick your fights extremely carefully and try to go after isolated players so you can eliminate them quickly. Most pros in the solo cash cup will eliminate a player in 5 to 30 seconds. You want to get in that range. If you eliminate the person fast, it will take down your chance of being third partied by so much. The faster you finish the fight, also the faster you can heal up and go fight another person if you're feeling like a Fortnite god once again. And once again, patience is a virtue in Fortnite, and it'll help you get those placement points if you just chill and just wait for stuff to happen. All right, next thing is always keep your materials maxed out. You never know when you'll need to build a quick box to escape a bad situation. So prioritize areas that have plenty of wood, stone, and metal, because running low on mats in the mid game, well, that's literally a recipe for disaster. Like I said, you will want max wood no matter what and every time of the game. Also, stay alert, keep your headphones on and your eyes peeled for sneaky players trying to box you in. If you're not careful, someone could turn you into their highlight reel, and that's not how you will qualify for the next round. Also, if someone's absolutely aggroing you like no other, be very patient and try and run away. There's no reason to fight back if he's a very aggressive player, because ultimately you probably will lose the fight unless you get a lucky hit off. And if you're playing very passive, you want to run away as much as possible so that you don't take a lot of damage and you don't have to take those risky fights. All right, now it's time for the late game. This is where all your preparation pays off. The second the moving zones start, you need to box up with hard materials like brick and metal, because you've used almost all your wood basically for rotating, or you're gonna use it for rotating in the future. So don't use your wood to box up, because you'll get shredded by a stray SMG, or the whole lobby will focus you and you'll just get cooked because wood sucks. So you'll need to stay protected if you want to survive. And one of the most important tips for the late game is to stay ahead of the zone. If you lag behind, you'll be stuck outside the safe zone, taking damage while trying to get back in. Trust me, you don't want to be the last kid picked for dodgeball. It's never a fun time, and you'll likely get eliminated. And if you got your Oni mask or your sword, use them wisely. These items can help you rotate safely and snap that high ground, which is a huge advantage in that game. Also, you're very limited on both of them, so make sure you're not using them all the way throughout the mid game, or if you do use them through the mid game, to get a refresh right before the end game so you have maxed out movement. Remember, surviving until the final circle is the goal. Don't force unnecessary fights unless absolutely needed in endgame. The more you survive, the more points you'll rack up. Placement is everything in the late game because a lot of players will be dying out super quick, so that you'll get a lot more points really quick. And when it comes to high versus low ground, if you can secure high ground safely, go for it. But if it's contested, don't waste too many materials trying to fight for it. Focus on consistent rotations and smart positioning, and you'll be in a great spot for the endgame. Like many pros like Muzz and PETERBOT, they are pros at freaking endgame, and it's crazy to see them and how they focus on materials and rotations, and it just cooks everyone else to really step up your game. You'll want to queue smartly. Don't queue up for your first match right when the tournament starts. You'll want to wait 7 to 8 minutes after the tournament begins. This often puts you in a lobby with less experienced players, basically Fortnite on easy mode for your first match. And you'll want to stay calm in fights. If you get nervous, take a deep breath and relax. Don't let your nerves control you. Trust your mechanics, stay calm, and play patiently. And if you need tips on staying calm under pressure, check out one of my previous videos. Shameless plug, I know. But yeah, it's a very good video on how to teach you how to not be nervous and how to stay calm at all times. Next, watch the pros. Learn from the best players like PETERBOT, Bolts, or Muzz. Watch how they rotate, how they position themselves, and how they take fights. Then try to copy their plays like you're doing Fortnite homework. If you see something that they're doing that you're not doing, make sure to use that as well, because that is one of the most important things you can do is copying a pro's gameplay. Alright, and here's how you should approach each match during the tournament. Match 1, land at your chosen drop spot. You should loot safely, rotate early, and play for placement. Try to make it into the top 10. Easy points, right? Match 2 to 3, you'll want to stick to your strategy. Consistency is key. Avoid unnecessary fights and focus on placement. You can look for safe opportunities to third-party fights, but make sure it's low risk. Now, match 4 to 6. These lobbies will be tougher, so stay smart. Don't take unnecessary risks and make sure to manage your materials and healing items well. These are your survival matches. Now, match 7 to 10, by now your goal should be to hit the 320 point mark, which is usually qual for most regions. So stick to your placement strategy and don't let desperation for eliminations ruin your focus. I see a lot of players just go for eliminations after they've had a couple bad matches, and it scuffs up their game even more. So literally just focus on placement. You don't even need to play the game really, you just need to hide somewhere and not get damaged and just play placement out till endgame and survive. And so once again, slow and steady wins the race and the points obviously. So Fortnite tournaments can be mentally exhausting, so it's important to stay positive. If you have a bad game, don't spiral. Take a deep breath, reset, and focus on the next match. Remember, even pros have bad games and they'll just shake it off and move on. They don't crumble under the pressure. And focus on improving with every match. Even if you don't qualify, you're gaining valuable experience. Remember, practice makes perfect and you'll be better next time. Remember, improving in Fortnite is you versus you. You're the only one that can control what actually happens besides the outside factors of you getting killed by someone else. So remember, you've got to practice each one of these things and improve at them so much that in your next tournament, you will be able to qual to the next round. And if this video helps you in any way, or you see progress in your next tournament, make sure to like and subscribe, and send this to a friend that you think needs help with a solo cash cup. And if you guys want to support me, please use code NOTFLOW in the Fortnite item shop, and go play some of my creative maps that will help you get better at every aspect of Fortnite. I also just created a playlist on how to go pro in Fortnite, so make sure you guys go watch that as well. I love you all, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace, guys.